What is up, Gato Squad? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias, and if you are new here and like car content, consider subscribing by hitting that button below. So today we're going to be talking about car modifications for the Honda Civic Type R. What I'm going to be going over is the modifications I've already done, why I've done them, how they've been, and do I regret them. Modifications that are available for the Type R, and should you get them, and am I going to get them, and why or why not. And future modifications I want to see or I've heard of that's coming up for the Type R. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let's go through the first modification I did, and that's of course getting a different set of wheels and tires for the Type R. Now, if you haven't watched that video of the wheels and tires, go ahead and take a look at that. I'll link it up right up here. But needless to say, these combinations of wheels and tires have been pretty damn good. I drove recently in the snow. It wasn't that much snow, but there was a little bit of snow on the ground and some ice, and the traction was more than sufficient to get around. And when it's dry out and it's a little bit warmer, these tires do really well. Now, in terms of these rims and wheels, it's a sport edition from Tire Rack. They're not expensive wheels at all. They're not crazy. Some people wanted me to get some expensive, set of wheels that could cost around $3,000 to $4,000. Honestly, for me, that's just not worth it. For some people, it might be. They like that kind of stuff. They like those types of wheels. They like spending money on the wheels, and they like being flashy and things like that. I'm not really a cosmetics guy. And then, of course, we have to talk about the mud flaps. Let's take a close look at these front mud flaps here. They've gone through quite a bit already. And as you can see, they are extremely dirty, and all that gravel that's been kicked up that I live around has pretty much pummeled the living daylights out of this mud flap. What that's doing is protecting the paint that's on this side, and this protects the rest of the paint as well. Now, as you can see, the car is filthy, and that's just from the sprays that you get when you're driving the car in these wet conditions that I've had the last few days. All the snow that we've had is basically melting and leaving mud everywhere. I wash the car and it gets really dirty, so why bother? Just leave it dirty until all the snow melts, and then I'll give it a nice clean wash. Anyway, these mud flaps have done a really good job at protecting the paint and really good job at protecting that spray that you usually get when you're driving around, especially when you turn. So as you can see, they have been battered and they're doing the job really well. Let's take a look at the back ones. And these have held up really well. Take a look at that. They took quite the battering and they're still kicking. Now, if you haven't seen the video, go ahead and take a look at that. I'll put it right up here. I think it's worth it. Now, to finish up the exterior, not sure if you guys consider these mods or not, but I have added these stickers. I'm sure you guys have seen it around if you've seen the car or if you've seen the videos. This is, of course, the FlyinGato sticker with the Instagram logo and the YouTube logo. You come around the back here. I used to have a lot more stickers. I took them all off. I did leave the Police Lives Matter sticker for obvious reasons. And then we've got the Gato Squad sticker as well. Like I've said before, if you want a Gato Squad sticker, let me know. All you have to do is send me $2 in my PayPal, realflyingato@gmail.com. The info's down below as usual, and I'll send you one of these stickers. $2 for US people, $3 for international. It just covers shipping and the cost of the sticker. That's all I really want, and then that's a pretty cool sticker, I think. What do you guys think about that? I'm thinking about adding some more stickers down here possibly, or maybe a VTEC Turbo sticker here, but I'm not sure yet what to do about these things. Continue on the cosmetics modifications. I did add these cup holder heroes. They work really well. Link is in the description if you'd like them. I like the way they look. They add a little bit of flair in places where it's kind of dark. Take a look. Well, there's one there and one there. And then, of course, this right here. I love this thing. It just lights up really nice when it's dark out, and it looks really good. And I've also added some modifications on these LED lights up there, and they work pretty well at night. It's not that bright, but it's good enough. And I'm thinking about possibly changing out the shift knob, but more on that in a little bit. Check out that H-Day hat, the Honda Day hat that we got. Pretty cool. I'm just back here to really show you some more of that cup holder here stuff. Some people don't like it. I actually like it a lot. You know, it adds a little bit of, you know, color where normally there's no color, so I kind of like it. All right, now we get to my favorite mod, the exhaust. Now the exhaust is by far my most favorite modification that I've done to the car. Jesse the welder did a really good job at taking care and removing the two mufflers. That's all I did. I removed the two back mufflers on the exhaust and made the car sound that much better. Again, if you missed that modification, take a look at the link above. I'll put it up there so you guys can take a look. But needless to say, it's just been an incredible modification. I love the way the car sounds. When I turn it on in the morning, it's just a great sound. When I'm driving around, it's just quite lovely to hear. Even idling, it sounds really good. Some people say that they want to remove the resonators in the middle and things like that. I wouldn't do that, mostly because removing the resonators would add a lot of drone inside the car. That's something I don't like. So let's take a moment now and listen to how the car sounds as I'm driving along, and let me know what you guys think. Alright, so we talked about the mods that I've already done to the car. Let's talk about the mods that are currently available and why or why not am I getting it. So let's start out with the cosmetic modifications that are currently available. So I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of pictures or videos at Honda Day when we met up. There was a car there with that red carbon fiber, like look over here with this lip up here, and a few other accents, you know, the mirror caps and things like that. And honestly, I'm not a really big fan of those things. I already think the car is busy enough in terms of styling. I like the way it looks, it's very bold, but to add those things just a little bit above and beyond, and it's just not my taste at all. On top of that, it's quite expensive. So to add the red carbon fiber kit, you know, it'll come with the front up here, it'll come with the mirrors and the wing. The wing actually looks kind of cool. But all of that costs around, you know, $1,700 from Honda or more. So to me, honestly, not really worth it. I don't like the way it looks. And you're not reducing weight. You're basically either adding weight or removing a tiny bit of weight if you're replacing a panel. And it's not really doing much for you in terms of performance. And I'm more of a performance guy versus a cosmetic guy, so I would skip. Now on the inside, of course, they do have the red leather shift knob, and I didn't think I would like it, but when I saw it in person, I actually liked it a lot. So I am actually considering getting that red leather shift knob. It's about $160 from Honda, and I'm really considering getting it. What do you guys think? Should I get that red leather shift knob there? Let me know in the comments to see if I should do it. Now something else I'm considering doing, I might get the Honda Factory Performance Package floor mats, because they come in red and I kind of want to save these Type R floor mats. I want to, you know, right now they're really dirty and I'm using them as, you know, basically a daily driver, so I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to take these out and replace it with HFP red floor mats. Okay, so now let's talk about available performance mods that are currently out, and let's talk about what I currently have and what the future is for performance. Now, what are my plans for my engine? Well, I'm not gonna do an intake. I don't think an intake is really worth it. As it is right now, the air gets put in here, goes through here. There's a little space for it up here. You could see that. And it goes right in there. It's basically a ram air intake. You can't get much better than that, so I'm gonna leave that alone. It looks really high quality, and really if you're gonna change the intake, you have to change the intake runners and make everything bigger. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting your time, unless all you're doing it for is for sound. And honestly, the engine sounds loud enough as it is, so I think it's good as it is. So I wouldn't get any intakes for now. There's nothing that's been really proven yet to really give you that good bit of horsepower. Very recently, VIT tuned, VIT tuner, or VIT Viper, as he goes as well, has been able to tune the Civic Type R. What he did is he bought a Motec, M-O-T-E-C-H ECU, replaced the ECU, and tuned it with his own tune, and it made an extra 100 horsepower to the wheels. So it's basically making 400 horsepower to the wheels on E35 fuel, basically ethanol, mostly ethanol. That's really cool. Now the issue I have with that is that you're not using your stock ECU anymore. You're basically taking it out, and when you take out your stock ECU, you have to buy this Motec ECU that costs about $4,000. That's very expensive for an extra 100 horsepower. And in my opinion, I think I'm just gonna wait for K-Tuner or Honda to crack this ECU so we can use what we have in stock and flash whatever we want. As of now though, if you really want that extra power, go check out VidTune, VidViper. He's got a really cool solution. $4,000, you get an extra 100 horsepower to the wheels. That's a pretty incredible thing. The other thing I'm going to be looking at is, of course, a downpipe. So if you look down there, I have a stock downpipe there. Still has a catalytic converter. Eventually, I'll be taking that out. Again, I wouldn't do that. I know the PRL and AFE both have downpipes available for this car, but I wouldn't do it until we can tune the engine. There can be problems if you put a gutted downpipe there, a custom downpipe, without tuning the engine. You could get an overboost issue, or you can get different issues with the engine. I just wouldn't do that yet. So what I would do if I was going to get more power, and I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to be tuning this car for power. They're coming out with a carbon fiber hood to replace this hood. Now in my opinion, I just would not do it. The weight savings are just not there. And I've asked around, and like, why are people putting carbon fiber hoods in the Type Rs? And they're saying it's almost entirely for cosmetics, because this hood is made out of aluminum, very lightweight aluminum, doesn't weigh almost at all. So I would definitely not touch this aluminum hood. Now one thing I have not seen yet is a strut tower brace bar. I'm surprised no one's been talking about that yet, and it's probably because the Type R is set up so well. But I think with a strut tower brace bar, it'll not only perform a little better, but it'll look more tied in here. It'll have that extra structural rigidity. Like I said, don't know if it needs it, probably doesn't need it, but it can't hurt. And I would probably get a strut tower brace bar, because pretty much every car I have has one of those. Something else I keep hearing about is that there's a possibility of getting different bumpers for the Type R. Now initially I didn't care, you know, I like the styling of the Type R, so I'm like, for the styling I don't really care. But these bumpers are potentially gonna change these little plastic inserts from non-functional to full-on brake vents for brake cooling. So that'll be awesome if they come out with something like that. What I'm really looking for is a nice integrated bumper that looks really cool, possibly a Mugen bumper. I'll see if they ever make one. If they do, I may replace it. But a Mugen bumper with functional brake scoops and something to do with cooling up here to help with the cooling of the car. Something else I'm looking at is possibly upgrading the intercooler. So the intercooler is basically enough for the car, but there's a bit of room still left in there to possibly upgrade down the line. So I'm going to be looking at possibly taking this out and putting a bigger intercooler in there. PRL already has one available for pre-order, so that's a future mod that I possibly may look into once I tune the car. The other thing I want to see is camber plates. So right here, I think we can install some camber plates and get some extra camber into the wheels so we can get that wheel out a little bit and get that negative camber going to get a little bit of extra grip as well. With that setup, a little bit more power, a little bit better cooling, possibly a different bumper to get more brake cooling, upgraded pads, different wheels and tires, we're gonna have an incredible machine. And so I'm looking forward to what the future brings with this car. It's gonna be insane to see what tuners are gonna come out with. And already the progress has been pretty good. Some people say it's been slow, but it's been pretty good. The car's only been out for like 5-6 months maybe. So, you know, we gotta give them some time, guys. So that's alright, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. As always, let me know if you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.